I agree with what Big Jeff said. Now O'Neill and Skolinski have got something to compare notes with, because when they spoke with Brendan, the time frame of Stephen speaking with Teresa was more like 3:30, 4 o'clock, or quarter to 4, 4 o'clock, and Stephen kept on saying no, 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 2:30. So that was a major time difference with what Stephen was telling them and what Brendan was telling them. I also believe that O'Neill, and we'll hear it, when O'Neill and Skolinski talked to Stephen on the 6th, they already have him as number one suspect for the disappearance of Teresa. There's no question, no matter what Stephen said to them, he's their number one suspect, because as O'Neill said, and we'll hear it, well, how do you explain why her vehicle is on your property and you're the last person to see her alive? So they've already made up their mind, guys. It's a fait incomplete.
The differences in the first interview with Stephen compared to Brendan, I mean, you listen to how Stephen's very forthcoming, answering questions. He's not, obviously he's nervous with being interviewed, but it's not guessing at answers or trying to give them, an answer to their question. He truthfully answers their questions, compared to when you listen to Brendan, how they almost have to like beat an answer out of him or answer the question for him, and he just agrees then.
Okay. Some questions to clear up with you. As far as when Teresa came to your place, did she go in the house at all?
No.
Okay. She's never been in your house?
Yeah, she's been in my house.
Okay, because yesterday I think I asked you that, and you said that she wasn't.
No, not at that time. Maybe at first, a long time ago, I think. Come to the door.
But to come inside and things like that, just come to the door or what?
Yeah.
But as far as coming in and doing anything?
No.
So she come to the house but didn't come inside the house. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. From Monday up until today, or actually Monday up until Saturday when you come up here, did you come up here at all again?
No.
Okay, so this is the first time that you've been up here since that Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Kim has some other questions that he wants to ask you, and him and I have been talking, and he's got probably more questions than I do because he's trying to fill in some stuff as well, so he's going to ask you some things.
Steve, after she left, what did you do? What was your, if you can remember, in the afternoon?
I think I put the book in the house by the computer, and then I walked by my sister's and see if Bobby was home yet. But he just left.
And what sister is that?
Barbara.
Was she home?
No, she was at work.
And Bobby had just left?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go in her house?
No.
Okay. And what did you do after that?
And then I went back home.
And how long did you stay in your house?
Quite a while. Then my mom came down. For a while after that.
Are we to the supper hour yet on Monday?
No.
Okay, still in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what you were doing in your house?
Probably listened to the stereo.
Okay. And then your mom came over?
Yeah, with my mail.
Do you remember what time that was?
It was probably just a little while after she left. She came down.
After Teresa left?
Yeah.
Not too long after?
No,
how long
not
did
too
your mom
long.
stay? She brought your mail?
Yeah, she brought my mail. Stayed, I don't know, 5 minutes, somewhere in there. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Well, he just said, my mom brought me my mail. Why do you suppose none of these people talk to Dolores?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I suppose they don't want anyone. Well, two things. They don't want anyone to back up his alibi, and maybe they're thinking that his mother would lie for him.
Well, I think, yeah. Don't we hear Dolores talking in the background of the first video? And are they asking her to get in the truck because she says I can't get up there without a step ladder or something like that because of my knee?
Yep, that was towards the end of the interview.
Yeah. So I mean, why are they asking her to get in the truck? Because they want to talk to her? Are we sure they didn't interview Dolores? And they just maybe lost the paper it was written on?
Well, the Marinette summary report is very vague. There's no mention of them talking to Brian. There's notations of what Chuck said to them. We don't have the actual audio interview of that. The only ones we have are Brendan's and Steven's. And then we have their rendition of what Alan was saying to them.
Yeah, which was
Yeah.
what was drunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
and also, I was sorry. There was also a statement from Dolores that said, "I know nothing about nothing," and that was it. It was only a very brief statement, which is a real pity because that's a major, major point, of course, because we know that when Brendan was interrogated by Fassbender and Wiegert, what did Brendan say? He bought the mail. He went on his bike to collect the mail to bring it to Stephen. Well, clearly you can't have both the mother and Brendan bring in the mail.
No, definitely not.
Don't remember.
And then you were home in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Did you go anywhere else?
No.
Did, during supper time, did you eat alone, or did you eat with your mom?
I think I ate up by Ma's house. Because a lot of times I eat supper by Ma's house. Pretty much time.
So you think you may have eaten supper at mom's house?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you do after supper then?
I mostly was home all night.
And you went back home?
Yeah.
Do you recall going anywhere?
No, because Jody calls me all the time.
Okay. And that's your girlfriend?
That's my fiance.
Does she have a certain time where she can call out?
No, she can call out.
507, man, at 1023 on County P.
And do you remember getting a phone call from her on Monday night?
Yeah, I think I got two of them.
Okay. Do you remember those times, approximately?
I don't remember.
Was it on your cell phone?
No, it was on the house phone.
Okay. And what's that line?
What's that line?
What's the phone number?
Oh, 755?
755?
Yeah, 4860.
And that's right to your house?
Yeah.
So you think you may have called her, but as far as going into town or anything like that, you didn't on Monday night?
No, I didn't go nowhere.
You were either home or over at your mom's for
Yeah.
a while, like for supper. Do you remember who else ate over at your mom's house? Was it just you and her?
I don't know if Tucky was there or not. I know me and Ma.
Okay. What about Tuesday?
Tuesday, I went up to work at 8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock?
Yeah,
You
I'm
worked
mostly up there.
up at the shop?
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock? And who was there?
Well, Ma was there. Dad comes home Tuesday morning. Chucky and Earl.
And how long did you work on Tuesday?
Tuesday, around 5 o'clock.
Till 5?
Yeah.
Okay. A lunch break in there?
Yeah.
Did you leave
No.
to go eat lunch?
No, we just went in the house.
Went in the house.
Yeah, that's all
And
we
that,
do.
when you say the house, is that mom's
Ma's
house?
house, yeah.
Okay. Does she usually make lunch?
Yeah.
Did you have to go run any errands or make any deliveries or anything like that while working on Tuesday? Do you remember leaving at all?
No.
Okay. And you think you worked a full day?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Tuesday night after work?
Tuesday night, I ate supper by Ma, I think. The guys
Is that common, Steve? Is that how many nights a week would you estimate that you eat at Mom's?
quite a few.
More than 4?
Well, sometimes it's all week.
Mom's a good cook?
Oh, yeah.
Every night?
Yeah, well, who ain't? Who's my age?
My wife.
So you think you had supper at Mom's on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think I had hamburgers.
Anything special happened Tuesday night?
Went to Manitowoc.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. And what'd you do in Manitowoc?
That's when I visit her.
On Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Side note, when he goes to visit Jody, if you all remember the walkthrough video where they go through the closet and they mention reference about the shoes, well, while they're videotaping his desk, there's a receipt for Tuesday when he stopped at the gas station. He bought a whole bunch of soda and he filled up the car with gas.
Jail?
Yeah, at 7 o'clock.
Okay. And how long does that visit last?
I'm mostly there, I don't know, hour, a little over hour.
Anybody go with you?
No,
What?
I'm only on the visiting list.
You're the only one in your family that's on the
Yeah.
visitor list? Okay. And the car you drove?
My Pontiac.
This the one?
My
here,
Grand
the
Am,
Grand
yeah.
Am, okay.
Yeah.
Did you go and make any other stops in Manitowoc?
I don't know if I put gas in or not. What if I would have put gas? I don't remember.
So you maybe got gas?
Would that be by SA there?
Street,
On
is
Main
that
Street.
On Main Street?
Yeah.
And that would have been after the visit?
Yeah. If I did it. Otherwise, I mostly go right straight home then.
Okay. You didn't stop anywhere else, see anybody else or anything like that in Manitowoc?
No,
Okay.
no.
So it's right back home, so you're
Yeah.
home by, what time do you think you're home?
Maybe before 9 o'clock or something.
Okay. And then you stayed home the entire night?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Wednesday?
Wednesday? Um, Wednesday, went up there to work.
Back to the shop?
Yeah.
Is that usually 8 o'clock then?
Yeah, mostly 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Well, between 7:30 and 8.
Okay.
But I'm
Who's-
always up there before 8
Who
o'clock.
was working that day?
All of them again.
Okay. And all of them is who?
Earl and Chucky
Okay.
and Dad.
Let's jump back to Tuesday. Was Dad working then too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he comes home Tuesday morning.
From here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he goes back up Thursday night. Once in a while, Friday morning.
Okay. Usually Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody's working on Wednesday. Anything? Did you go anywhere Wednesday or anything?
No, most of this week I've been working in the garage.
Okay.
Except for Thursday. Thursday in the morning, I got up about 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Took a shower, got dressed. It's almost like every day. Then went up and got the flatbed. So we go to the auctions
Right
every
here?
Thursday.
Right here?
Yeah, with that flatbed.
Where's the auction at?
Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac.
And who went with you?
Just me and Earl.
Okay. And that's on Thursday.
Thursday mornings, yeah.
Okay, let's jump back to Wednesday. You're working at the shop. Are you visited by anybody on Wednesday? Anybody come and see you?
Customers.
Okay, that's it. Wednesday night, anything happen Wednesday night?
What time's your work till on Wednesday?
5 o'clock mostly.
So 8 until 5?
Yeah. There was a cop there. I don't know if it was Wednesday night or Thursday night.
Okay, so either one of those nights.
Yeah.
All right. And who was he? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
You know what department?
Yeah.
What was that? What department was he with?
I think he was with Manitowoc.
The sheriff's department? Okay. And that was either Wednesday or Thursday. And what was he asking you about?
If Teresa, somebody took some photos,
Okay.
and she was there.
Where'd you talk to him at, the police officer?
Right outside the door, on
Whose
Ma's door.
Ma's door.
Yeah.
So you're at Ma's when he came?
Yeah. Yeah, I was eating.
Okay.
Was that supper time?
Yeah, at supper time. But he didn't. He asked me what time she was there.
That's what he's asking about?
Yeah. If she was there and what time. I told him I think between
507,
2 and 2:30.
complaint number.
Okay.
And then he left.
Okay. Did he didn't ask to look around or anything like that?
No, no,
And he didn't go into your house or anything like
no.
that? Okay. And you just talked to him at...
Right there. Yeah.
All right. Thursday you go to the auction, the auto auction, and you guys come back again by supper time?
No, we're back. Two o'clock, I think we got back.
Okay.
Take anything to the auction?
No,
You went empty?
yeah,
Did you bring anything back?
no. Shit was too high.
So it was a no sale, huh?
No. Now, once in a while, it's like that.
You guys find it strange that they're inquiring about his timeline for all the days but Monday?
That definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are they spending so much time on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? I suppose they don't really know what happened to her, but
No. Well,
it
as
seems like Monday is a more important day.
you think it'd be.
And Thursday night, anything happened?
Thursday night,
You remember?
Is your
no.
dad gone then? Thursday night he's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time was that? He usually leaves.
I don't remember what time he left.
Okay. But is it after supper?
No, I think it was before supper.
Okay.
Or it was after supper. I can't remember.
And then on Friday, again work?
Work,
What time to what time?
8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Then we loaded up the flatbed and put our TV on there and everything.
TV on the flatbed?
Yeah.
For what?
Bring it up here. This is going to my brother's cabin.
Okay. But you come up here on Saturday.
Huh?
You
I
go-
came up here Saturday morning.
So you loaded a TV on a flatbed so Chuck could bring it up
Yeah.
Friday?
Yeah.
That was after work?
Yeah.
Whose TV?
It was Ma's old one.
Where was that at? At Mom's?
At Ma's.
Okay. What else did you load up on or anything?
No, the rest of it was done.
Pardon?
The insulation was all on there and everything else. So it was all loaded. All we had to do was TV and tie it down.
Friday, you're working, and then at some point, you and, is it Earl are sighting in a rifle or something?
That was Friday.
Is that Friday?
Friday.
Okay, is that after work or during the day?
During the day.
Okay, and where do you guys do that at?
Down in the pit.
Okay,
For the
and you-
crushed cars.
Okay.
What time was that about, you think? So, lunchtime or?
No, it was after lunch.
So sometimes when you're actually on
Probably between 1 and 3 maybe.
So during the time that you're saying that you're working, you could be out doing other things of your own leisure type stuff?
No. Just, he wanted to sight it in for hunting.
So you just took a break from work and went out
Yeah,
and did
about
it for
5
1
minutes,
3.
yeah.
What kind of gun?
30-06 I think he's got.
Do you remember how many rounds he fired with that?
I don't remember.
But
You have to check the
several,
cars.
several.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's a crusher down there too?
yeah.
Who operates that crusher?
It's from Norbs. Norbs Salvage in Denmark.
So you guys borrow it or what?
They burn it over and crush them.
So it's a separate entity of...
Yeah.
How long has it been sitting there?
Maybe a month.
So you just they leave it on scene and then they come and operate it?
Yeah. Well, once in a while, Earl does it,
But for the most part, do you guys do it then?
No, mostly they do it.
But sometimes...
See, they don't need it right now, so they left it there.
So
when they need it, they come and get it.
At your place, either yourself, Earl, or Chuck, who else crushes cars?
Norbs. Mostly it's only Earl and me once in a while. We're down there.
To crush cars?
Yeah, the ones down there right now, we did.
When's the last time you guys crushed cars?
Probably last week.
What days?
Millbilly.
Yep.
I don't remember.
How many
Yeah,
cars?
can
you
I
guys-
just make the comment again, and I'm sure the other guys will agree. Notice the emphasis again on the car crusher,
Yes.
and not only that, the questioning by O'Neill and Skolinski about who operates the car crusher and the vehicles near the car crusher, because I think they've already had in their mind that they were going to dispose of the RAV4 by crushing it.
Well, on this day, on the 6th, they had the fire department there with the jaws of life, opening up all the crushed cars that they
Correct.
had previously crushed.
That's correct.
I think there's 3 or 4 loads down there.
How many is a load?
I think about 12.
So you guys did 3 or 4 loads last week?
Well, no, there's some last week because we're cleaning up on the top. So we got to take the motors out and everything else.
How many cars do you think you would have crushed last week?
Maybe 12,
Okay.
15.
Did they go anywhere?
No,
They all stayed on site.
they're all there.
Chuck or Earl helped you?
Oh, this Earl.
Just Earl.
Yeah.
Was he doing them by himself or with your help?
I helped him a little bit. He cleaned them up on top.
When you're saying clean them, means taking out...
Yeah, motors and trannies and gas tanks and tires.
Okay. And besides you guys doing them, then Norbs does them as well.
Yeah. Norbs does the most of the work.
But you know how to operate it?
Yeah.
You and Earl operate
Yeah.
it? Okay. So Friday, you guys sight in the rifle, and then Friday night, when does Chuck come up here? Does he come up on Friday night?
Well, Thursday night we had to go get lumber
Okay. All right.
because we were leaving out the driveway and I seen lights by my place.
Okay, and when you say you seen lights by
I
your
seen
place,
tail lights.
going away from your place.
No, going by it.
Okay, on what
This
road?
way, on the long way. I seen it. Because we were going almost by the stop sign.
Okay.
And I looked. And I spotted the
Your
lights.
notepad again, please.
Where is that?
The big black thing underneath it, it's very bottom.
Is that where the diagram is?
I want to do a new one. We kind of chopped off that diagram yesterday because you put the houses, but you didn't put the yard and stuff, Do me a favor, take your time. Let's start with a new diagram. We'll put the road way up here, okay?
Okay.
So Avery Road is right here. Let's call it Avery Road this way, and then what, 172 it is? And, include the yard and all the property if you can. Take your time. I don't know how you were in art class. That was terrible.
Shit.
I did stick people.
You got this at Avery Road?
Yeah, just
Okay.
make this kind of like the driveway or something
Okay.
to the business area.
Okay.
Do whatever you want there. But we've never been there, so it kind of helps us understand what you're talking about sometimes. So use up some space. If we need more paper, we'll just add some on there too.
So, Billy, is it clear to you from the diagram he drew exactly where he saw those taillights, what way they were facing, whether they're moving or not? I can't quite see it.
Well, this would be his house right here. Said they were at the stop sign right here, and he's seen lights driving past behind his trailer.
And there's nowhere to go there, really.
Nope, there's just a field in between.
Yeah. And the only thing that I think is interesting there that's kind of corroborating is that you can actually see, from the spot he said he was standing, that he saw Teresa make a left. He's approximately at that same place where he saw Teresa make that left, and the car is approximately, perhaps a little bit, maybe a little bit off to where he was standing, but it seems as though you have quite a clear view.
Yeah, well, you can see there's a dirt road that goes in between the field and Stephen Avery's trailer, and that's where he's seen the lights heading west, away from their property. So.
And where's that road on this picture that you have up?
Right here, the Stephen's trailer's really little, right on the edge of the quarry, and then there's a dirt road that goes all the way towards the cul-de-sac on Cuss Road.
Can I just make the point? That's interesting because Stephen said that he often found Josh Redont taking that shortcut between Cuss Road and his property using the cornfield. So probably that's what attracted his attention when he saw the tail lights near his property, thinking, oh, well, maybe someone's come across the cornfield. I don't know. But it's interesting that so concerned was he that he returned back with his brother, right? Normally he just would have said, don't worry about it, it's nothing. But he actually came back to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. Like, Stephen never thought, oh, maybe it was Bobby or maybe it was a friend visiting, because think about it, any vehicle would have passed him on Avery Road, right? So he would have seen them enter. The mere fact that he saw the tail lights, that was a red flag for him.
Very much so.
Interesting. Good point. Thank you.
Okay.
This is all the yard.
Okay, so now, this is the fenced-in area?
Yeah.
This
That's
is
the
what?
impound.
Impound?
Yeah.
This is?
Yeah.
So that's the impound, right?
Yeah.
This is the fence?
Yeah.
This right here?
That's the garage.
Is this the garage that you refer to when you go to work? Is this the garage you go to?
No. This one.
Is that the shop?
That's the shop.
That's what you guys call the shop?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call this the shop. What's this referred to?
The storage.
What do you keep in there?
Alternators, starters,
Things that you pull out of cars?
yeah,
Okay.
radiators,
This is Chuck's what?
house.
And right here?
That's Ma's house.
Right here?
That's another garage.
What's that garage for?
That used to be the main garage.
Oh, so it's the old shop?
Yeah, the whole shop.
Okay, right here? That's the impound?
Yeah.
Barb's house?
Barb's house.
That's That's you?
That's me.
Steve's house? What's this?
That's the garage.
Is that like a car garage or
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
And then you have a pool too, right?
yeah.
Where's that at?
It's back here.
So it's like a pool, right? Now, as far as the pit, where's the pit at in all this whole thing?
Let's see. It probably goes. Like this. Then this way. This is all pit.
This whole area here is
Yeah.
all pit?
Yeah.
And when you call it pit, is it the yard pit?
Yeah.
Where all the cars go?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the junkyard pit.
Yeah.
Okay, down in this pit area where all the cars are, what kind of equipment's down in here? Anything?
Well, there's the crusher's back here.
Right here?
Yeah. Then there's a pond.
Where's the pond?
About right in here.
You want to draw the pond just a little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the pond. What else is down there of importance? Any front end loaders or any things like that?
No.
Okay, how about, what do you guys use to go from the garage to pit and stuff? Do you drive your cars or golf carts like you have here?
Sometimes old beaters.
Old beaters?
Yeah.
You have like this, like
Yeah.
that? Golf carts and things too, or
Yeah, my mom's got one. We use that once in a while.
what do you use that
She
for?
does. Oh, haul parts down there.
So that's for haul parts back and forth?
Well, it ain't, but Ma, she drives it.
Okay, so where's she usually keep that at?
That's in her garage.
Where's her garage?
Oh, I ain't got on there. It's supposed to be right here.
She has a garage right here?
Yeah.
Where do you guys usually store the golf cart? Right there, right?
Yeah, in her garage.
Okay, let's go back to the van. Where'd you say the van was at?
What van? Oh, right here on the road.
Right on the road?
Well, here's that's the property line.
Mhm.
So it's right here.
Okay. So this is where the van was. And where did she park, Teresa?
When she came, I don't know, she parked it, right there.
Okay. And that was a green SUV, right?
Yeah,
Which way was she facing?
that way.
This way?
Yeah.
And you saw her from, where did you see her from?
The house.
Your house?
Yeah.
And you were there since 11, you said, right? Who else was home at Barb's house when she came to you?
Bobby was.
Bobby?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else that was home that you know of? Brian? Is that your other?
No, Brian was working.
So Bobby was home. Where's
Yeah.
Barb at?
I was working too.
So Bobby was at the house. How do you
Yeah.
know he was there?
After I went over there,
So later, after you got done with her,
yeah,
and you went over to Barb's, you said?
yeah.
Who was at Barb's when you went over?
Well, he was.
And nobody else?
No,
And
nobody else at all.
why'd
Just
you
him.
stop at Barb's?
I don't know. I mostly just walk right over there.
Pardon?
I just mostly walk right over there.
So after she leaves, you put the Auto Trader magazine in your house,
Yeah, and I went over there.
and you walked right over right away?
Well, he was gone. He just left.
Bobby did?
Yeah,
Okay, so you walk over to Barb's though, right?
yeah.
Who's there?
After she left, when I walked over there, he left.
Did you see him leave?
No.
So he was already gone?
Yeah, he just left.
So nobody was at Barb's then?
No.
But
The first time, when I come home or before that, I went over there and I talked to Bobby.
11 o'clock.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
Or it was after, it was 12 o'clock. Because I was outside for a while,
Okay.
because I went in the house.
Barb's already gone.
Yeah.
But,
I know, I talked to him somewhere in there, I can't remember.
but before she came, you talked about it.
Yeah,
And then after she left, you went over by Barb's, Bobby left.
Yeah.
What Bobby leave? What did he drive somewhere or take
Yeah.
some, what did he drive?
yeah, he took his blazer.
Do you know where he went?
No.
Okay. So when you were there at 11 o'clock, sometime after 11 o'clock, you actually talked to Bobby.
Yeah.
And then you go back to your place?
Yeah.
And then when the lady comes at 2 o'clock, you talk to her. Then you get done with her and you go back over to Barb's, but Bobby's gone because the Blazer's gone?
Yeah.
Did you go inside there at all?
No.
Okay. Where'd you go from there?
Went back home.
Okay, and you stayed there up until supper time?
Probably somewhere in there.
Okay. I just
So I
want to make
went
sure
by
it's there. All right.
Why didn't you?
I think I talked to Jody before I went by Ma's house to eat.
Jody
My fiance.
on the phone?
Yeah.
Before supper rather than after?
Yeah.
You think you talked to her after too or not?
Yeah, I talked to her after that too.
Or you think before?
So
Well, I talked to her twice that day.
she calls you?
Yeah.
Predetermined times?
Yeah.
What times do you have it set that you talk to her?
5, 6 o'clock.
So you,
First time.
she's in jail. She has to call collect, right?
Yeah.
So do you guys have it arranged that she's calling you at a specific time
Yeah, mostly at 5 o'clock, you know.
every day?
Almost.
Or is
I
she
told
trying
her-
all day?
No, she ain't trying all day. Because she knows I'm working all day.
Okay, so between 5 and 6, which normally you're out of work,
Yeah.
you're waiting at your place for a phone call from her more
Yeah.
than likely. Okay.
Because most of the time, you know, at 5 o'clock when I'm done, I go eat. So then it's at 6 o'clock when she calls.
We talked about the crusher, the pond, the whole junkyard pit. Is there anything else down there, like front end loaders or any other equipment? How about, do you guys burn stuff or crush stuff, or what do you all your garbage and stuff like that?
Mostly back in the corner.
Where at?
Back here.
What's back there?
This garbage, what people put their garbage in, what's this garbage?
So you guys burn the stuff back there?
No, we don't burn nothing back
You
there.
just toss garbage
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah.
Do you guys burn anything?
No,
Okay. Do you don't have any burning murals or open pits? Or,
not in the pit, no.
Okay. Down in your residential area where you guys live,
Yeah.
do you guys burn your
Oh
garbage?
yeah, there's burning barrels in there.
Where at?
I just got one there,
Mom's got one here?
yeah, and my sister's got some over here.
Over
And I
here?
think I got one out here.
You got one out front?
Yeah.
Where at? Right here?
Yeah, someplace in there, yeah.
Okay. And then where's your sister got some?
Behind the house.
Right here?
Yeah,
How many?
probably 3, 4 of them.
3 or 4?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
She has kids.
Yeah, a lot of garbage.
Yeah. So your mom has one, your sister has about 3 or 4, you have one.
Yeah.
What about Chuck?
Yeah, he's got one too.
Where at?
I think that's over here someplace.
Okay. So this X equals burning barrels, right? How often do you guys burn? When's the last time you burned?
Two weeks ago.
Okay. What'd you burn? Just regular garbage?
Just garbage.
Okay. How about at Mom's? Do you do any of their stuff from, like, take out their garbage, do
No.
things like that, help
No.
them out, burn their garbage,
No.
nothing like that? Okay. So then back in the pit area, you guys have a common area where you just dump garbage.
Yeah.
You guys don't do
How
any
long
burning.
had Jody been in jail?
I think she got arrested in September. A few months.
A few months. I do remember her saying the last time she burned in there, she burned some old clothes, but he's even saying he burned 2 weeks ago. So that whatever Jody says about that is.
He didn't say where he burned 2 weeks ago.
No, he didn't. That's a good point.
No.
Okay. I asked you before about any vehicles, any front-end loaders, any forklifts, things like that. Are those things part of your operation back there?
No. That's all we keep our shit in the buildings.
What do you have for equipment there?
A loader, a skidster. That goes in the shop. The
Who
skidster does.
operates those?
We all do.
Okay. You guys operate them all last week or no?
Oh yeah.
What do you usually drive sometimes?
The loader, the forklift.
Did you do any work with the loader or forklift last week that you remember? Now, you guys did some crushing, right?
Well, I don't know if that was last week. It could have been the week before.
That what?
The week before last week.
That what?
That we crushed.
So it may not have been this week at all
Billy?
that you crushed anything.
No.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the point, 2 points. It's pretty obvious that what they're trying to do is establish the means and the motive to crush a RAV. So the questioning is clearly, okay, you got a crusher, you got the RAV4 that's been found in close proximity to where you crush cars. Notice the questioning. He's trying to find out who uses end loaders, skid steers, the crusher, when crushing was done. That's their hypothesis. They're trying to corner Stephen into, or they're trying to establish whether he was going to crush cars that week. And the other point is this: when Stephen says that he saw Bobby's vehicle leave. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we actually don't know whether Bobby left. Say Teresa did leave the property. We don't know whether Bobby Dassey left before or after Teresa, do we? We don't know that. We can't establish that.
Well, we know for a fact that he did see her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Out the window, you mean? He says he left before, right? That for sure. But there's no, there's no real evidence that anybody can come up with to prove that definitively.
Yeah, what he's saying, what Bobby Dassey's saying is that he left before Teresa Hallbach, according to what he said.
Correct.
That's right.
But he also told Brian that he saw her leave, if I'm recalling that correctly, too.
No, it was
That's
following.
correct. Which contradicts everything he just said.
Yeah. So one thing that struck me about the past, 5 or 6 minutes of this conversation was, of the things that they talk about in this, in that past 5 minutes, how many of them come back as the dogs having hit on them? And because the dogs obviously they haven't been there. This is the sixth this interview, right?
Yep, this is after they talked to Brendan, so this is probably around 2 in the afternoon.
Have the dogs been there yet?
On the Avery property, yes.
Yeah. Oh, they have. Okay, so then there's reason for them to be asking about the golf cart and the skidster, right? The dogs both hit on those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why they're asking about them and who operated them because of the hits.
Correct.
All right, that this isn't coming out of the blue.
No.
That you crushed? Or
Oh yeah, this whole week must have been the week before
week before?
that we crushed them.
And
Because
what
Earl worked almost all week to get them other ones ready on top.
Okay. And when you say you're in the garage,
I'll be back.
What's work you're doing? What are you doing, Steve?
Cleaning up the mess, sweeping, taking parts off of cars.
Okay, just putsy stuff.
Yeah, I take a transmission out, motor out, and everything.
On Monday, after Teresa left, you didn't go back to work. Why not?
Well, I made couple phone calls.
Okay, but you didn't go back to the shop.
No.
You stayed in your house. Did they know that? Did Chuck and Earl know that you're not coming back after lunch or whatever?
No.
And
No, they didn't know that.
Is it run real? I mean, do they care?
Oh yeah, they care.
No. Okay, but I mean, can you just kind of come and go like that as you please? Is
No,
that,
I'm mostly
common, or?
no. This is the first time that I stayed home.
Okay. And you just didn't feel like going back, or what?
No. With a couple of phone calls I made, and, I had to talk to her PO attorney and everything else.
Okay, so you talked to her PO and attorney?
Yeah.
Who's her PO?
Shannon somebody.
Out of Manitowoc?
Yeah.
And who's her attorney?
Steve Wise or something.
Steve
Wise from Madison.
Steve Wise.
Ways, I don't know, something like that.
So you talk to them. You make any other phone calls on Monday afternoon?
No, I think I called them once or twice.
And why is that? Why are you talking to her? Is it her attorney and her probation agent?
I'm trying to get her out,
Oh,
and the case is on appeal.
okay. How long does she have?
She got 9 months. She got 3 months left.
And you want it sooner? You want her out sooner?
Yeah.
I saw her picture. I'd want her out too.
Okay. And you don't remember any other calls other than that?
Did Mill Billy?
Not
Yes.
offhand.
Did you hear that interesting comment that
Yeah,
O'Neill? I think it was O'Neill or Skolinski
it
said
was
to him,
O'Neill. I
"If
seen her
I
picture. I
seen
want her
her,
out
I
too.
will." Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And of course, they did find naked pictures of Jody. So interesting, very interesting comment.
hmm
You'd have to check the phone.
Did Teresa say anything to you about that she had to go to somebody else's house after your place?
No.
She didn't
No,
mention
she
it.
never tells me nothing.
She doesn't say, oh, you know, do you know so-and-so who lives
No,
down the road
no.
because I got to go shoot their
No,
shoot their car next
No.
door.
No, it's just mostly a hi and, that's about it.
Yeah, real short
Yeah,
conversation.
I guess. It's like she takes a picture, she writes down the serial number, and that's it.
And you pay.
Yeah,
And sometimes she gives a receipt.
yeah.
Usually
Well, the
she
last
gives
2 times I didn't get none. I didn't got no problems with him, and I've been doing it for, I don't know, a year, a little more than a year. So I figured, well, what I needed.
Do you know someone named George Zipper?
George Snipper.
Yeah. She didn't say that name at all or anything? She
No.
had to go see.
No.
And I don't know if you answered Tony's question. When was the last time you drove that front end loader? Was it last week?
Yeah, I think I might have drove it. Put a car on the side.
Can you grab that off of there and show me when you say put a car on the side, where would that be? Just like that. That's fine.
See, here's the shop, so I've been out of here and probably over here or, back in here.
Okay, but this is the fenced-in area.
Yeah, this is the fence in there.
This stuff's not.
No.
But
And
there's old cars out here.
Yeah, and there's cars here too.
Okay.
So most time, I'll drop it off here, or sometimes they're newer and they go up here.
When was the last time you drove the golf cart?
Golf cart? Friday.
Friday. And what'd you drive that for?
I don't like it
That's
went out by itself.
That's definitely Thursday.
Yeah.
Now, on Thursday night, you saw taillights. Can you show me on that diagram where the taillights are?
Well, they seem like they were behind me, so in here.
Is that a road?
No, it's a hill,
Okay. Is it?
but you could drive on it.
Okay, and they were behind your house.
That's what it seemed
And
like.
they were coming which direction?
The taillights were back here, so they had been going this way.
Okay, what is back there if you keep following those taillights?
It's all gravel pit. That's all Redon's here, and that goes out behind our house.
So is there an access road back there or something?
Yeah, it's all open.
It's open, so anybody could just drive on that.
Yeah,
Where'd it come in from?
Redon's pit.
Okay, why don't you draw that back area of the pit? Kind of, like, if you were to come in from the backside, draw us a diagram how you'll come in from the backside.
That's cute.
Is that Highway Q?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. There's a side road here. It goes like this. It's all blacked out. There's some houses here.
Do you know who lives there? Just to give us some reference. I mean, do you know what the name of the road is?
No, I can't remember what the name of the road is. But Don's pit is here. He's got all machinery and all gravel here. Then they got I don't know. There's where a road goes back by us. Then you go this way. Let's see, this would be us from here. Then there's a conveyor here. But you can go underneath that conveyor and get by us too here, or this way. This way is all blocked off for what it was for. Maybe a month or so. And then this is all open. So you can go anywhere, really.
So what business is this?
That's Redon's.
Redon's?
Yeah. Redon.
Redon?
Redon.
Redon's gravel?
Yeah.
And you said this is a conveyor?
Yeah.
Like to transport gravel?
Yeah. It's been there for
And this is
quite a while.
a road, or is your property?
No, that's our property.
So, so a person could essentially go down County Q, down to Redon's gravel, you say?
Yeah.
And then drive in through the back of Redon's gravel,
Yeah.
underneath the conveyor, and it brings them to a...
To the back of the junkyard.
And is that a gated thing, or fenced-in thing, or blocked-off road, you said?
No. That's just, they put a hill there. There's a property line.
Okay, so there's like a hill. So to get through that hill, to get it back into your property,
Well, I only go so far, then there's this open.
so you
There's
could...
cars blocked.
There's cars are blocking the area there,
Yeah.
so to drive in, you have to get past those cars.
Yeah, otherwise we got a car there, because we used to get gravel from Redon.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes we take that car out of the way and put it back, you know. And,
Just to block that road so you
Yeah.
can't get in.
yeah, but then the other side is all open. Or otherwise you can go up on the hill,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm back over here, and you can get through there and everything else. Or you take this road, and there's a field there, and you can drive the field.
So some person would really have to know their area back here to get back into that back area, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I couldn't just think, okay, I want to drive back into Avery property, and I'm going to, when I'm
Yeah,
going to
you'd
poke
have
my
to.
way back
Yeah.
there, I probably wouldn't be able to do it, would I?
Yeah,
I would?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they caught quite a few people back there already.
All right.
You're talking about sheriff's department or whatever?
Well,
Sheriff's department?
yeah, Redont, and then he calls the cops. And,
Well, and that's what and that's what we're looking at, because let's go back to that this map. What direction is south on here?
south would be on top, yeah.
So where's north? Down here?
North would be here.
So if I were to draw an arrow, where's north? Down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Do you know where her car was found?
No.
Okay, it's on that south property line by that berm. Is that little hill you're talking about? That hill
By the pond?
No, I think it's by the pit. You just said there's a hill or something?
Or there's let's see. Here's Chucky. There's a road here. It goes down in a pit. You know, and there's a property line, and it's built up. And then it goes all the way this way.
All right.
And that's all dug out.
Okay. Where are the cars parked back there on that south side?
They're all in here.
Okay. And that's where her car was found.
So anywhere in here?
Now, I asked you about describing what she was wearing that day. Do you remember it all again? Did you think about that?
I can't remember what she was wearing.
Okay.
Funny thing about that.
Millbilly,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, at this stage on the 6th, did they have the reports from the dogs?
Well, on the 5th, they had Great Lakes Search and Rescue, which was with Brutus.
Yep.
And he's a cadaver dog. They arrive.
Yep.
They take her to the crusher first. No hits, no signs of nothing. And then that's the thing. The officers are saying that they were following the dogs, but the dog handlers saying they were pointed in that direction. And then Brutus went along where the Rav was, hit on the rear of it, went underneath the tarp.
Yep. So at this stage, they didn't have the scent dogs
Correct. They didn't call the
on the
scent
6th.
dogs in until the 7th.
All right. Now, here's my question. Why are O'Neill and Skolinski focusing at the gravel yard and at the back of Stephen Avery's property? And why are they so curious about entry into Stephen Avery, into the salvage yard from the quarry on the 6th,
Mm-hmm.
when they've got no idea how that vehicle got there? Why is their focus on the quarry area, which is interesting because that's eventually where the scent dogs did most of their tracking, and the scent dogs actually came back from the quarry area, deer camp, through the conveyor and where the RAV4 was found. And that's precisely what they hit Stephen Avery with on November the 9th. So how did they know about the back? Yeah, how did they know about the back area already?
Are they? Is this merely a follow up on the taillight question? Are they trying to say that because you saw the taillights, I think they're kind of asking him, does it make any sense that any taillights will be going that way? And number one, and then number two, does that automatically imply that it's somebody who knows the property? If that's the way that I read that, but yeah, I didn't look at it from the angle that you were suggesting.
Well, you would have to know
Well,
the property to
if
put the
he's
car there. You're not going to just drive all
yes,
willy-nilly onto somebody's property unless you know it. Funny thing, they did have a flyover on the 4th so they could see all opportunities and ways to get into the property.
Yeah,
correct.
Quite a bit of time there on the 5th too.
And and it's also ironical that there was a strong dog track that went across the cornfield from Stephen's property to Cuss Road. So I have a feeling that these guys are thinking, someone actually drove the RAV4 across the cornfield and took it back through the quarry and put it near the pit for the express purpose of crushing it. So maybe the law enforcement are thinking, oh, okay, this is just a cover story. They were actually planning to put the car near the crusher and destroy it.
Yep.
And you didn't have any conversation with her other than,
No, we never do.
did she ask you how much you wanted for the vehicle and
No.
stuff like that?
No.
How did she get that information?
Well, we got it on a piece of paper.
Who gave her a piece of paper?
I did.
Okay. You didn't tell me that yesterday. So she's there, she's outside taking a picture, you said right away.
Yeah.
You go outside. What do you have with you that you're bringing to her?
That's the piece of paper with the money. See, the money's put in a piece of paper.
He did tell him that. He said he wrote down the VIN number and description and how much they want for it. And then he gave her $40, a 20, a 10, and 2 5s.
And you did that?
Yeah,
Who wrote up the piece of paper?
I did.
Did you do it inside the house before she came?
Well, that was done, I don't know, maybe Saturday.
Who did that?
I did that.
What does it say on the piece of paper?
For sale, 1989, Dodge van. Make an offer, and it had the phone numbers.
And you had the money in there and everything else,
Yeah.
and you gave it to her?
It had her number and my cell phone number.
Okay. And as far as what she was wearing, I mean, if you could just close your eyes and think about it, could you think about what she was possibly wearing?
Now, he can't remember what she's wearing. But when they asked Bobby Dassey, what is his response?
A very detailed description of.
Now, Stephen Avery actually had physical contact with Teresa Halbach. Bobby Dassey just watched her from a window. knows exactly what she's wearing, what she looked like. Steven
Yes,
can't.
correct.
I don't know.
And then you gave her the money while she's getting you the book, or did you give it to her right away?
I
or
give it to her right away.
when she's taking the pictures?
Yeah.
How do you get to the point of going from the van where she's taking the picture to her vehicle for the book?
Walk.
She tell you that you ask her for a book?
No, she said I got the book in the truck.
Okay. And every time that she comes, she gives you a book?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you follow her towards the truck.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Well, she gives me the book.
She opens the door up?
Yeah.
Okay. Does she get inside, or she just reach inside?
No, she opened the door. She got in. Then she reached over.
So she closed the door?
No.
She leaves the door open?
The door's open.
She sit down inside?
Yeah.
She reaches over to where to get the book?
Yeah. The passenger side.
And then she just hand it out to you?
Yeah.
Does she get back out of the truck
No.
again?
No.
And she just leaves?
Yeah. She shuts the door and leaves.
Now, we got all the evidence on the rear tailgate of the RAV that she was attacked there. Could she have been going to the back of her RAV to retrieve another Auto Trader book for the appointment she had after Steven? Did she get flagged down for a hustle shot? And they're telling Brendan the same very day that Teresa had another appointment after Stevens, and she never made it to that.
That's correct.
I mean, excuse me. You'd think that she would have kept this this cache of Auto Trader books that she had or not, sort of in the same place. I mean, why would you put one of them on your front seat and the other 6 of them in your, in the back of your car?
Well, the real question is,
You'd have a stack of them.
how many books did Auto Trader give her?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes. And when her car was eventually searched by the crime lab, did they retrieve any magazines in the vehicle at all?
Not
Auto Trader.
I don't recall that.
No.
And yeah, which is pretty freaky, because how on earth do you only take 3 magazines with you?
How do they process that vehicle but still leave a hair hanging out the vent?
Badly.
Yeah, correct.
And Justin has pointed
Not
out
just the hair.
there's more
Yeah,
blood
sorry.
on the RAV. But we will get into that in a future.
Is Bobby home then, or no?
Yeah, Bobby's home.
Okay. And does he come out or anything, or does he see you leave, or see her leave?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
But you know he's home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
he's
when
home at that point.
when she leaves, he's home?
Yeah.
And how far away from Bobby's vehicle are you think?
Well, his vehicle's sitting by her garage. So that's only...
Like from here to where? Where we're looking right here.
from here?
Yeah.
Probably the other side of the shop there.
The other side of the blue shop?
Yeah.
So probably that's about what, maybe 80 feet?
More than 80 feet.
And you know he's home though, right?
Yeah.
When she's leaving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just when I walked in the house and come back, and he was gone.
So just in that moment of
Yeah.
you saying goodbye
15
to
feet.
Teresa,
Yeah, and
going
walked
to your
out.
house with the paper,
From where
and coming
Bobby's
back, you
vehicle
notice
is
that
parked.
he's gone.
Yeah.
But while she's giving you that thing, he's
To
still there.
Steven's
Yeah.
front door.
So okay.
Within, I don't know, that second.
So
With
it's-
her vehicle running, his is quiet. He probably, at the same time,
123
almost.
feet from where the van was parked.
Okay, so
to
but the time that it took
kitchen
you to
window,
walk from
Bobby
her
was looking
vehicle
out.
to your place to drop off that thing,
Yeah.
and then to walk right back outside again,
Yeah.
he's gone.
He's gone.
206 feet from the kitchen window to Stephen Avery's front and back door.
Do you know where she's at?
Who?
Teresa.
Oh, no.
And did you have anything to do with her at all disappearing? Or?
No.
And the only time she's ever been to your house is just...
I can't believe you said who. Do you know where she's at? Who? Like, really?
Knock on the door.
Yeah, that's it.
Tell us
Just with
about
the-
that time. When was that? How long ago? 15 times that you've had contact with her. When do you think it was that she actually came to the door?
How many times?
The last time.
Monday.
She came to the door.
No,
Okay.
I seen her. The last time she knocked on the door, well, that was probably for my car.
How long ago would that have been?
Week 2?
Okay. But she never came inside.
No.
And seeing that you remember about your car when she knocks on the door, what time of day was that she did that contact with you?
And that was around 3 o'clock.
So that was like, again, you called up and said, hey, I have a vehicle to sell?
Yeah.
And they came over that same day?
Yeah.
You're at home.
Well, I don't know if I made it that Monday. I could have made it during the week.
Okay.
That one.
So she came over, knocks on the door,
Yeah.
and what happens?
I got the money. I mostly got it all made out. It's on the bar or by the computer.
Okay.
So that's all done. Then I grabbed that, then give it to her.
Outside.
Yeah.
And then she gave you another one of those books again?
Yeah, she always does.
And she took pictures of your vehicle?
Yeah. But that was about 3 o'clock. Because I called her, and then she called me back
Okay.
on that one. Because she was going to be running late, so it'll be about 3 o'clock, she said.
So if she runs late, she gives you a call?
Yeah.
But she was never inside the house. It's the only time that she's knocked on the door that you recall, or was there other times that she knocked on the door too? Probably was?
Yeah, there probably was. Maybe at first. I can't remember. That's so long ago.
Yeah, and it's always been her?
Yeah, it's always been her. Yeah.
Did she call you on Monday?
Has not.
Coming
It's
over?
Kathy Williford at least once.
Not this time, no. Last,
You sure?
yeah,
You sure she didn't call and say I'm going to be early or I'm going to be late or anything like that?
no.
Whose number is 7?
That's my sister's.
Would she have called her for any reason?
That's the one who's the van is under.
Is that Barb?
Yeah. Yeah, the van is underneath her name.
So the contact information on that sheet of paper you had for how much you want the van for and stuff, whose number was on there listed?
That was Barbara's and mine.
So both your numbers?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we mostly do it.
Okay. She called this number on Monday morning just before noon. And Barb wasn't.
Have phone or telephone records that show all the incoming and outgoing calls, because the only records I've seen are the long distance.
I didn't know we had those. I didn't even know those were available. Barb's?
I
Have you seen them?
I have a few.
The only ones that I've seen are all like lumped together as far as
It's not detailed.
no, it's definitely just here's a group of numbers and how many times it was called. There's no other details.
home, huh?
No, she was at work.
Bobby would have been home, right?
Yeah.
You were not in your sister's house.
No.
At 11:45.
No.
And Teresa never said, oh, by the way, I just called and talked to your nephew or anything like
No.
that. She never said that.
See, he works third shift.
Okay.
They seem to be inquiring about Bobby a lot now.
Sometimes he's sleeping, and sometimes he's up.
About the receipt, you said for the most part, up until at least 2 times, you always gotten a receipt from her, right?
Yeah.
This last time, you didn't ask for a receipt?
No, when I put my Pontiac in, I tell her I don't need no more of them. I said, what for?
Okay.
I got good service with the truck. I trust them.
When she did write out a receipt, I mean, she have it to you right away, or
Yeah.
she got it for a vehicle, or she
No, she have it done all the way.
she had it done
Yeah.
beforehand?
Yeah.
So when you're at the point up until you're selling your Pontiac, you always got a receipt from her, but then at the Pontiac, you said, hey, I don't need a receipt no more.
Yeah.
So you said no more.
I don't need no more.
So then it comes Monday, she doesn't prepare a receipt for you at all?
Well, I don't know.
She doesn't give you a receipt,
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
So she must have it with her or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I told her I don't need no more.
Mill Billy,
Before.
Yep.
Okay. And then, like you told me that.
can I just ask a quick a, a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
Would Stephen have given this interview with O'Neill and Skolinski if his attorney was standing next to him?
Of course not. I just don't understand.
Right, and the reason why I ask
Go ahead.
the reason for asking is that he's being treated as suspect number one. He's being questioned as a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer friendly. It's now you're my primary suspect,
I just don't understand why
and
he's talking
I
to
have a
them.
feeling he knows that now.
Like, you hear the day
Well,
before, his
if
attorney advised him to
he's
stop talking, and he does.
twice, yes, yes, but he feels in his mind that he's done nothing wrong,
And he
but he
hasn't.
doesn't realize that what they're doing is they're correct, they're entrapping him. And not only that, now we've got a big problem because Brendan Dassey now tells them a different narrative in a different time frame to what
Mm-hmm.
Stephen just did. So there's a direct conflict between three people now: Bobby Dassey, Stephen Avery, Brendan Dassey. There's a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
There are three narratives going on.
Well, just about everything Stephen Avery says can be verified in some form or fashion.
Correct.
Your sister asked you if you'd give her the money because she didn't have it, or
Yeah.
what? Okay.
She didn't have the spare, so I said, well, that ain't no problem. I can handle that for now.
I'm gonna jump out and make a phone call. Can you have him initial or sign and date those sheets that you
Sure.
drew that for us?
Sure.
Okay, just give me a second.
I'll throw my initials on there. Throw yours on there. How's your dad doing? Is he doing all right?
Yeah, he's doing better.
How much did he have to drink last night?
Pretty much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a nice guy, though. I like him. He's probably seen a lot more at accident scenes than I'd ever seen my whole life. Right? Do you ever
Yeah.
think, as a kid growing up, I mean, you and I are about the same age. I was born in 61. You were born in 62. So we went through the 70s and 80s there.
Yeah, that's where the good days.
Yeah. So, God, did Dad always do towing then for the
Yeah.
sheriff's department and everybody else? So I come home with stories?
But now we don't get nothing.
Really?
We haven't been getting none
Why not?
since I had that sexual assault with Penny Bernstein.
So that cut into the business?
Oh, yeah.
That sucks.
Or they don't call Avery no more. They call everybody else. You know, can have an accident right down the road, and they'll call somebody else.
Don't you say, hey, put us on the list? I mean,
Chuck and Earl, they complain all the time.
and they won't put you on the list.
Or they put us on the list. We get all the abandoned ones, but half of them we don't get either. We get the junk.
Have you called them on it?
Oh yeah, quite a few times.
They still, that sucks.
I think they're out to get me.
Well,
I don't. With this other case with the lawsuit and everything, I don't know.
well, I guess you probably wonder yourself, but you got to take and think about the factual things. I mean, someone actually goes through the problems and troubles to put her car on your property. You know? I mean, I'm not from there. I have no allegiance to the idea of what Manitowoc County does. And it's like, I'm trying to understand this, Steve. It's like, wait, this is pretty wild.
You know, when I talk to TVs too, they don't understand it.
I mean, we're not young guys that are just basically thinking about things that we might have saw on TV and try to apply it to real life. We got some experience in our back pocket, As far as your relationship with your fiancé, it's a good relationship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we argue over the phone, but
Yeah.
I did a lot of that
That's
too.
true.
Yeah?
I did quite a bit of that at first.
Arguing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got a temper? You're not Irish, right?
No, well I got a little Irish in me,
Well, me, I got a lot.
but since I've been out, I get I don't know, I talk loud once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
but that's about it.
How's she? She talk loud too or no?
Yeah, especially when she was drinking.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we got in that scrap, and I just kind of pushed her on the couch, tell her to sit down, and that's why they arrested me, because I touched her.
How long ago was that?
Over a year ago, I think.
And she's on probation, right?
Now she is, yeah.
What's she on probation for?
For that drunken driving.
Is that the only issues that she has?
Yeah.
Just drinking and driving?
Yeah.
She work?
No.
Well, how'd you guys meet?
Gas station.
Really? She working?
Yeah,
Or just...
me and my sister. No, she was just there.
Uh-huh.
And she had her car there.
Just got talking, and next thing you know, you're hooked up, eh?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I had her car, and I went with her. I drove her car, and then my sister went home. But we stopped for a soda. Me and my sister, so I bought her a soda. So I said, I ain't coming. I'm going with her. So when we came out by me, I had to push my old Blazer and everything else because I blew the motor up.
Uh-huh.
And then I smashed her front end a little bit, and she was a little mad at me. The first time I met her, and I do all of this. I got that all done. We stayed there for a little bit. I showed her the ice shack when I was living in at first. Then we went for a ride. Then it was foggy out. Then I put it in the ditch. Well, long story straight, she got accused for it because I took off. I had Barbara pick me out, and she went that way, and before I knew it, they got arrested.
So she took one for you, eh?
Well, it ain't nothing to put the car in the ditch when it's foggy out.
Yeah.
Now that's what she's fighting now.
Well, hey, they gonna find anything inside your place? If they look. No?
But they were in already. I'll let them in it.
I'm just asking.
I'll let them in it already. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Okay. What about this girl's family? I mean, what would you want to tell them?
And I wish they'd find her. Oh, I wish she'd show up. So we can see what really happened. Why she go or what. Because I know my family went through hell. I can figure what they went through. I know when I was married to my wife, we went through a lot of stuff. I can figure how they are. They ain't not nice.
So you were married before?
Yeah.
Is this before you went to prison?
Yeah.
Any kids?
5.
Really? You have 5 kids?
Yeah, set of twins and that.
No kidding.
But I only see one now. The rest of them, they want nothing to do with me.
How old's your oldest?
Now you want me to do that?
No, just roughly.
21, 22.
No, you're like me. Yeah. Wow. So then, of course, from what went on back then, I imagine it worked on your relationship with your kids and your wife and family, eh? Is that what basically broke you guys up?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah?
No.
The kids live around her? No, or no?
Yeah, there are 3 of them are around.
Yeah.
The other 2 are in the army or whatever it is.
Really? You had twins, eh?
Yeah.
Twin boys?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's the ones who were in there. Or they were getting in trouble and everything else. And
Uh-huh.
I guess they had to do something.
Wow. Boy.
But I just wish all of this shit was over already.
Well, you have to admit, take a step back and take a look at it.
Yeah,
It's
look at
kinda-
it. The goddamn vehicle's there. It's been found, and it ain't gonna happen again.
Yeah.
There'll be a fence up around it.
Millbilly.
Yes.
It's easy for me to say because
Yeah, well, I just want to comment. Isn't that incredible that Stephen Avery had the foresight to say to the investigators about the fact that, yeah, it does look bad that her vehicle was there, right? Because they're hinting that, what's Teresa Hallbach's vehicle doing at the Avery salvage yard. So if he had the nous to know that having her vehicle there looks very suspicious, how can you account for the fact that if he did murder Teresa Hallbach, that he just left it there since the Monday all the way to Saturday when it was found, considering that his brothers worked on the property, his dad and mum were there, and the public could come in at any time. It made absolutely no sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
And he went down with Earl in the vicinity where it was to sight the rifle on Friday.
Correct.
Why would they do it right there? You know?
Correct. And not only that, the silly thing is, right, they did the fly over on the 4th and they didn't see it. The vehicle was not there on the 4th.
Based on the video that we've seen, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not you. But if you try to disassociate yourself from it and take a step back and say, okay, let's say I'm not me for a moment. I'm looking at this big picture. What do I think? You know? It's hard to do, but if you can, take a step back and take a look at it and say, God, you know, what's...
And see which way you'd go.
You know? Now, of course, you have an image. You know what I'm saying? And the idea of saying, hey, I'm Steve Avery. This is what I'm all about, and this is what I'm not all about, you know. This family, of course, is looking at God. You know, the last person that she's seen by is Steve Avery. You know, is he being truthful to this matter? Is he being helpful to this matter? And, you know, is he being sympathetic to our needs, right? So, you know, I mean, you're talking to us. You're telling us exactly what we need to know as far as her last being there. And hopefully, you know, next week we're all talking about the idea that this is, you know, we found her, you know. Hopefully she's safe.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Not for my sake, but for her family's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how it feels. And my other kids don't want nothing to do with me. And that's almost the same thing. I don't see him.
When you had your other thing, you know, did you offer to do anything like take a polygraph or anything like that, or did you take one? What happened?
Well, I passed it.
You passed your polygraph? So you were pretty comfortable with back then taking a polygraph to show that you were being truthful?
They don't do shit, though. That's the only thing.
What do you mean?
They ain't reliable. You know, it's...
Who offered you the polygraph back then? Law enforcement or your attorney or who?
My attorney from Milwaukee.
And you passed it. And this is when you're already in prison, or?
Yeah, I was in Green Bay.
How long were you in prison for then?
A couple years, I think.
And law enforcement never offered you a polygraph?
No. I set one up
Mm-hmm.
in Manitowoc when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
But then my attorney canceled it.
So the law enforcement, if they actually would have done a polygraph back then, may have found you to be not deceptive, to be truthful about this whole thing, and worked out from there, right?
Hillbilly,
Yes.
In my opinion.
don't you find that's the most disgusting, disrespectful thing you have ever heard, to tell Stephen Avery that had he passed his polygraph test, then he was not guilty of the sexual assault of Penny Bernston, knowing full well what had happened, right? How he was set up by Kacerek and Vogel. It goes to show that I believe that Stephen Avery was treated like scum from the beginning to the end. They were looking at him, Millbilly. They were looking at him as him being responsible for the disappearance of Teresa then and then.
100%.
From Manitowoc, I don't know. I ain't got too much faith in Manitowoc.
But back then, though, you weren't colored by that.
No. No, that's why I wanted to set it up.
Right.
You know?
But now,
Give it a shot.
it's a whole different story. I mean, you don't have
Yeah,
that
it's
faith
all
'cause you
different.
don't. Right.
You know?
Huh. You spent a lot of good part of your life in prison.
Yeah, something I shouldn't have.
I'd be pretty upset.
Now I got all of this. I'm trying to stay calm and handle it the right way.
Uh-huh.
You know?
worked on a missing persons case last year. A 40-some-year-old guy from up in this area. He's probably 50-some. I don't know if you saw that. Last September it was. The guy ended up bringing his daughter-in-law for a ride down to Chicago. She had to take a flight down to Arizona, and no one seen or heard from him after that. He ended up being in Iowa, you know, like 2 months later. But, you know, people are really different. You guys brought that little truck up from the...
No, my dad bought that a long time ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That must have been fun to run around in.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
They're talking about that little truck you seen behind the police car.
We got one at home that we just took home.
yeah?
That's got to be fixed a little bit.
How many cars do you think you guys got down the yard?
I don't know, a couple thousand.
Really? How old do you think the oldest one is?
27 valid regular class D,
I don't know,
207.
in the 40s maybe.
You still got some from the 40s and 50s? A lot of do you guys go on the network of...
No.
No? Because isn't that a big deal now where you can go on network and list your cars and through other salvage operators and all that stuff?
Yeah. But we didn't get that far yet.
No?
We're just starting to get up there now.
Because that's a really good business.
Yeah. I don't know about any more.
Yeah, so Earl and Chuck are basically the people that run the business
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
Yeah.
And does that go with the market, like as far as metal? Metal changes every day as far as how much for scrap metal and things?
No, they ain't too much in that.
No?
Just when they get enough, then they get rid of it. Yeah, I guess you just can't sell so much at one time, and you know, with the taxes and the insurance and
Yeah, but it's a family affair, eh?
yeah.
So is Bobby, you said works midnights, where does he work?
Hamilton's.
Furniture?
I think the one on Moyle Drive, I think. Whatever it is.
You do any fishing and stuff too, or no?
I haven't been doing that lately.
No? Where do you usually do
Fishing.
fish?
I used to when I
Yeah?
came out.
On the lake?
At first, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of that break wall in Manitowoc?
The what?
The break wall going into the lake. How it's been redone, the whole break wall
yeah,
thing.
it looks nice.
Yeah, it is nice. I remember I spent a real hot day down there once. I used to work for the DNR a long time ago. Sat down there working fishermen. But I used to like Manitowoc. I used to like Two Rivers a lot. I used to do a lot of drinking when I was down in Two Rivers, go from bar to bar in the wintertime. The Shed. And I don't know if you remember Memorial Drive, the mall. Remember the little strip mall that's there? Used to have a bar there called East 40.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
He remembers a few things, but most
Yeah.
part, he don't know what he's talking about.
And then, was it Godfathers or Goodfellows? Downtown Manitowoc? Capone's? Yeah.
I don't know.
But the linebacker? That's still around, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah. And I told you about Fatso Subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was pretty good. So you've been getting a lot of phone calls and stuff from the press?
Yeah.
How they been?
I guess pretty decent.
Yeah.
But you can't tell them much. Just what you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
We're just shooting the breeze.
You know what would help us out? If you would write out a statement as to the events of Monday, Tuesday. Think you could do that?
Monday and Tuesday. Why are Monday and Tuesday so important to them? We
I
know
think
why
I gave
Monday is,
enough.
but why Tuesday?
Well, and my lawyers, I don't know if they go for that.
Okay.
We done talk to them.
Any more questions?
I think we covered. Did I miss anything? Covered everything.
Do you have any questions?
I wish it was over already.
Well, we talked about that.
And there's going to be, down the line, there's going to be some things that, we're going to have to ask of you again, probably. So we want to make sure, her car's found on your family's property there, and that's very much a concern of ours. So
Oh, yeah.
you're going to have to bear with us a little bit. And we
I can
hope
do
we
that.
have your, continued cooperation
Yes,
here.
you do.
And sometimes there's things that are going on that we don't
The
control.
first time they referred
okay?
to it as the
So
family.
the idea that if something comes up and you say,
True.
God, that Tony O'Neill or that Kim Skrolinski, why don't you understand something? This picture's a lot bigger than both of us, all right?
Oh,
So
yeah,
a lot
I
of
know.
times our bosses are basically directing and orchestrating what's being done. Don't take it and put it towards us and the idea that we're the ones that are controlling that part of it, okay? I want you to understand something. When I came here the first day and said to you, hey, look it, I have no intentions of placing you under arrest or taking you to custody or nothing like that. I just want to talk to you about this missing person.
Hello?
I'm up front, Steve, okay? If I'm going to arrest you or take you into custody, I'm going to tell you that. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, yeah.
So as far as any distrust or anything like you may have with other officers in Manitowoc, I'm giving you my word that if I'm going to do something with you, I'm going to tell you up front. And I'll make that promise to you,
Okay.
all right? Because I gain nothing out of anything. I don't get no extra
Well, we could
toaster
do
at
that.
the end of the
Nah,
month
no,
for
I don't
that
think so.
person, okay? So even the same way, let's keep it open. You have questions and you're saying, boy, he said this, but I wonder what he meant by that, Give me a call. I check my voicemail. Steve calls me up and says, hey, I have a question about this. I'll give you a call and say, hey, Steve, here's the story. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to make any promises to you. I'm not going to do anything that's you're going to say to yourself, boy, that O'Neill screwed me over. I won't do that. You've been through enough of that.
Yeah,
Is that a deal?
that's a deal.
All right. Anything else, Kim?
Well, I was going to ask him, I think you've indicated that anybody could have access to the back of that yard and could have put that car there. And, we want to make sure that we're covering all the bases. Who do you think could have done that? Who would be out to get you, Steve?
The truth?
Yeah.
The truth.
Manitowoc County.
The Sheriff's Department?
Kazurik.
What's his name?
Kazurik.
Kazurik? And that's something that he could do.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone else? Say it's not law enforcement.
I get along with everybody.
That's what I'm asking. Do you have any known enemies? Since you've been out, no problems, no disputes, no conflicts, no fights or anything with
No.
anybody? No
No,
threats?
I
Sir.
get
No
along.
threats?
Vogel.
Everybody calls me.
He's
They're
not
all
technically
nice.
law enforcement.
I don't think I had one bad mark. Even when I walk in the stores or whatever.
Okay. So nobody comes to mind other than this deputy.
Yeah,
that would
this
try to do this to
Stack
you.
Sheriff.
Okay.
That's all I can think of.
And a lot of times in dealing with cases like this, and the family's important, and we do this for your family as well as any other family, they're going to ask us questions. They're going to say, okay, how is Mr. Avery? Has he been this way? Has he been that way? How can you trust him? Okay? Is he being truthful? And of course,
Here
the
comes
question's
Soka.
going to be is, how do you know he's telling the truth? Okay?
Mm.
Talked about polygraph. To validate you being truthful, okay? Understanding that if we use polygraph and it shows you deceptive, we can't use it anyhow. But to tell this family that Steve Avery volunteered to take a polygraph and he was truthful, and we're going to hold you up as being truthful and say, we validated Steve Avery and everything that he's told us, and he's been truthful to us. You know how that family would accept that? Really well, okay? Because not only are they saying, we believe in him, we're going to validate him being truthful. That's an option that we have, Steve. I would take advantage of it. Although you weren't given that opportunity back then, this is a good opportunity to hold yourself up again and say, hey, I'm being truthful to this matter. For this family, and validating yourself being a truthful person so we can move on to this whole deal about possibly someone else being involved in this, to finalize everything that we've talked about. We want to be able to say we validate you being truthful about this whole thing. Would you take a polygraph exam? It'd take about 2.5 to 3 hours. And I'll tell you what, you know who the polygraph examiner is?
Who?
Me. And I made you a promise already, didn't I? There's no fear from me.
Didn't he just
I
say,
can talk
I
to
will
the lawyer
make
and
you
see what he
no
thinks.
promises?
Okay?
I have no
Right?
problem
And
with
now
it.
he just, I made you a promise.
Okay. Because I think you need to. I think you need to show this family that you're being 100% cooperative, 100% truthful. And I want to stand behind you and say, no matter what you've ever heard about Steve Avery, no matter what's going on with this whole situation, I'll tell you what, if he was given this opportunity way back when, it probably would have cleared him just as well as it did today. That's what I want to be able to do. But you need to take that step. All right?
Okay.
We done?
Yeah.
Okay. Take care.
I'll talk to the lawyer.
Can you go answer it?
And
Yeah,
nothing
we're
else,
done.
I can give you a call.
Do that. Either way. All right?
You know, as long as it put me out, that's fine then.
No, I want to validate you being truthful.
Yeah.
So
I got no reason to
So
lie.
Yeah.
He's got absolutely nothing to gain. They would have came after him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just like he did polygraph. Not
Yeah.
reliable.
They just
And
want to
not
be
a-
able to say he failed the polygraph.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's what they did to Brendan, even though
That's
he
right.
passed it. And polygraphs aren't submissible anyway. They're
Nope.
not submissible. But isn't that incredible how O'Neill put pressure on him? That's a pressure tactic to say, oh, are you willing to take a polygraph? You know, so he's trying to catch Stephen out by hopefully Stephen would have said, there's no way I want to do a polygraph, right? So hence O'Neill would have come back to him and saying, Stephen, what are you hiding? Are you hiding something? So, and mind you, all this questioning was done before any blood, key, or bones were found. Right? So you could imagine if they determined that his blood was in that RAV4, they wouldn't have asked him questions like that. They would have handcuffed him. They would have handcuffed him.
Yep.
Absolutely correct.
It's interesting though when we go over Charles' interview next, and the statement that he gave to Marinette County. So, yeah.
So what's the order? We
Yep.
got Chuck and then Earl next, because that was the same day, right?
And then Stephen,
Right.
and then Brian, and then Brendan.
Yeah.
Would do Bobby's, but they haven't released it. They also talked to Bobby Dassey on November 5th. John Dietering and Dennis Jacobs both interviewed Bobby Dassey. And that's what he describes exactly what she was wearing. But gets the color and the make of the car wrong. He says
Yes.
it's a blue Honda CRV.
Yeah, but you know,
close.
just getting back to that interview, you can't go away without thinking that he is the primary suspect. He's being treated as the primary suspect. But what is really concerning is that the law enforcement have already made up their minds in which direction that RAV4 came from. It came from the quarry,
Mm-hmm.
which is really interesting. So remember what remember what Brendan Dassey said, how they took the RAV4 past Chucky's house, the complete opposite direction
Mm-hmm.
to what Fassbender and Wiegert said to Stephen just 3 days later. Okay, remember when he got arrested? They told him how that RAV4 got on the property from the quarry.
Mm-hmm.
And yet when Brendan was questioned, right, interrogated, he said, oh no, me and Stephen, we drove it there past Chucky's place and we left it at the pit. So the investigators knew that what Brendan was telling them was all crap. And it didn't support what the dog tracks found. The dog tracks clearly showed that that RAV4 got taken through the quarry and past Redon's deer camp. So now you've got this incredible contradiction, and that's why Kratz never put Brendan on the stand in Stephen's trial. Brendan would have completely destroyed it.
But they also state that Stephen Avery dumped the bones west of his property. There's
Yes.
no bones found west of his property. they're all found south and southwest of his property.
Yeah.
Even Katz,
Correct.
what Katz wrote in his book, he tries to give the impression that he dumped them just on the other side of his yard in the quarry. That's not
Right.
true.
And you see, maybe they were thinking that Teresa Hallbuck was transported somewhere in the back of a RAV, right? And hence the reason why the RAV came back through the quarry. So because at that stage they didn't know anything about Cuss Road, nor the bones in the Manitowoc County gravel pit, nor the bones in the burn pit. So these guys are just thinking, okay, where did he take her? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. If that RAV4 came back through the back of the quarry, that means that Stephen Avery, according to them, drove the vehicle off the property. Right? So
That's
you've
right.
got a completely different scenario going on. So it's interesting because once the dog tracks come in, they're ticking a red flag. They're going, I told you that RAV4 came that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Yeah, they put the cart before the horse. So they're hypothesizing that the reason why that RAV got put there is to crush it.
Then why leave?
Yeah.
Correct. The hypothesis was that Stephen was going to come back early from Crivets and crush it, and crush the RAV.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
No,
When they're doing
but
it.
yeah, but look at that question. Look what O'Neill said. So near the conveyor belt, that conveyor road, you had cars blocking it. Because remember, when they questioned Chuck, which is what we'll have a look at, they asked him who could have potentially removed those cars to allow, flowing of traffic, i.e., they're trying to implicate all three brothers in the plot, all of them.
Yep.
Makes you wonder if Verdant had a front end loader.
Of course.
We know we had
Yes.
dump trucks.
I don't know. I mean, it is a quarry.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But Zilna doesn't believe that Redont has got anything to do with anything.
Yeah, if you saw that recent interview that she did, I forget the guy's name. 3 days ago or so? He's going to be
Nutters
yes,
matter.
Yes.
Yep.
Zeller is pretty sure that the killer's a family member. She's sticking with that story.
Yes,
I had suspected that she was just kind of laying down that story because she has to present some alternative that's viable. But she was very honest in the interview, I thought. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but the critical thing here, guys, I know it's a little bit off topic. The reason why she suspects a family member is because of the origin of the blood, and that the blood came from the sink. That's her hypothesis. So if that blood came from the sink, she's implicating a family member,
Or
right?
a friend of the family.
That's possible. So it's someone who knew that Stephen had cut his finger on the day both him and his brother went to Menards.
Could it be this very person that claims to never been there?
Are you talking about Mike O?
I sure am.
Correct.
Well, there was one other person that denied being there, and that's Robert Fabian. But when they talked to his wife,
yes,
she confirmed that he was there on Halloween. He was also there on Wednesday, too, because Brendan states that they were rabbit hunting.
Yes.
But the blood happened on Thursday.
Yes.
I thought another thing that was interesting about that interview, it's great to have a PhD in molecular biology handy to ask this question to. Zelda also said that she performed. Yeah. I was thinking, Justin, do you want to say another one? That she said they had done a study on the age of the blood sample in the rat, and that I have never heard that before. That was the very first I've heard of that.
Yes, I fell off my chair. So I actually went back to the original, and I know it's a little bit off topic because I don't want to hijack this.
Go for it.
Very quickly, it's the first time I heard about it. But in a brief, Kathleen Zellner said she was going to test blood, do carbon-14 testing, and also DNA methylation testing. So it looks like she did DNA methylation studies. So that means that she tested the blood vial in 1996, and she also tested a blood swab. The DNA methylation results came back that the blood was fresh, which means the blood in the RAV4 could not have come from the vial. It was fresh blood because the time period between the two events is 9 years. So the DNA methylation will tell you if the DNA was from 1996, when Stephen was younger, to 2005, when Stephen was older. The results came back because they do a molecular clock. The results came back as the blood being fresh, except Zellner didn't take into account that Culhane could have just simply swapped the swab, right?
That's right.
So the planter used the blood vial because the planter knew it had Stephen Avery's name on it. Culhane just simply gave a swab from the RAV4, from the Grand Dam, or from the garage, or from the somewhere else, and say, here you go, this came from the RAV4. And her investigators would not know any better. Same with the FBI. They
Well, I got a
wouldn't know.
question. Why do you think they chose to compare the blood found in the back RAV to the cherry Pepsi can and not something with a better chance of finding more DNA?
I think what they wanted to do, Millbilly, they didn't at that stage have a standard for Teresa Horbach. That's why they had to get the Pap smear, because you need a standard to compare the results with. So they obviously took a swab of the blood in the back, where that mark is. They also did a swab of the cherry Pepsi Cola can.
Why not use her toothbrush?
Because there's one problem with a toothbrush, and that is you can't guarantee you're going to get a pure sample, right? For example, if someone else used that toothbrush, potentially could have got multiple profiles. So normally in a murder case or an investigation, you want to make sure that the sample you have as a standard is pure and has got the person's name on it. So there's no dispute.
Thank you.
And that's why you get the Pap smear. They did the same thing, I believe, with Christine Rudy. They got a Pap smear of her as well. So that way they can have a standard and compare all results to that standard. And that's why the planter, if you're going to plant blood, you want that blood vial because you know, A, it's pure, B, it's got Stephen's name on it, and 3, you got access to it. I'm not saying Lenko Colburn did it.
No, anybody.
If
it was a five-digit code to get into that evidence storage room.
Done.
So it could have been Jacobs.
Anybody.
Because on the night of the 3rd, none of the Manitowoc officers are together. You hear Colborn, he's out on patrol doing whatever he's doing. Remaker, he's radioing, talking to Colborn. You got John Dietering asking if Colborn has a cell phone so he can call him.
Yep.
You don't ever hear Link at all. Then after they gain entry into Zippers, we got Dennis Jacobs calling the Calumet County Sheriff's Department wanting to talk to Wiegert because they just got entry into Zippers. So.
Yes. And just to finish my statement, if I was to hold up 2 swabs, right? One from the blood vial and one from the sink, or one from the Grand Dam, you're not going to be able to tell the difference,
No.
right? They're both the same. And furthermore, the genomic DNA profile comes from Stephen Avery. The difference is from the blood vial, one would expect to have EDTA. From any other source that's fresh, no EDTA. So all Culhane had to do was to say, here you go. This is a swab from
Well,
the RAV4,
we know
but it was a substitute.
they searched his car on the 5th.
Yes.
They were all over it. They made O'Neill was making detailed notes about what was in the car. So
Correct.
Yeah.
yeah,
Correct.
She's also convinced that the RAV is intact. I was very
Yes.
surprised by that.
In a cage,
she
buried
also
down,
confirmed
buried
she
underground.
has never seen it.
Yeah.
Correct.
I would have liked to have heard her ask the question as to whether she was very clear that the killer planted the blood and the police planted a lot of evidence, including the key. They also accused the hood latch swab of being a replacement. So, going to replace one thing, why not replace two, as you're suggesting, Toby, right?
Well, that's correct.
Yeah, is that
That's
I
correct.
would like to have heard Zellner
That's
being
correct.
asked. Yeah, about item
But what I was going to say one thing though. If that blood actually originally came from the blood vial, you absolutely remove any family member being involved. It's the police.
Mm-hmm.
It's law enforcement doing the whole lot.
Right,
Planting,
that's right.
the whole lot. Whereas if that blood was indeed fresh in the RAV4, then oh my lord, we're talking about a family member.
Yeah.
We're talking about a family member being involved in planting that blood. That's huge. That is huge.
Or because he might have been there that day too.
Yes.
Oh
But
my.
what she meant was that the planting was a two-part process by a family member or a friend or an associate, and two, by the police.
Mm-hmm.
So it was done in two. It was done in two parts.
Yeah, would have loved. I would have loved to hear her weigh in on item FL. We know that we know what she thinks about it from the fact that it didn't have any bone on it. And in her brief, she talks about how the expert said that it went through her brain, which was a problem in the trial. But
Correct.
it just to me, item FL is just so obviously planted after Brendan's false confession, and just the fact that it had DNA on it after so long, and I would just love to hear that come out of her mouth that it's so obviously planted as well.
Yes, and I was just going to quickly say, once you remove item FL as an important piece of forensic evidence, then there's no link between Stephen, the rifle, the bullet, the cranial bone fragments, and Teresa's death. He walks. The whole case against him is circumstantial, the whole lot, everything. That's why item FL, according to Sweaty Boy, was the game changer. Well, it is the game changer. It's going to change the game in Stephen's favor. Correct.
Yeah, you don't need a game changer when the game is going swimmingly in your favor, right?
Correct.
Well, we did a good job of hijacking your live, Millbilly, to talk about something else. So I apologize for that.
Sorry, Millbilly. Sorry, Millbilly.
No worries. But any final thoughts for any three of you? Stephen had no chance.
No,
Yeah,
he was dead in the water that day.
Yep.
That very day.
Yeah, he. I think it's probably unfortunate for him. There's a lot of people that say the October 31st fire in his bird pit never happened. I don't know whether it happened or not. Barb and Scott said they saw it, but it's too bad that he didn't to talk about that in any of these interviews, because that would have further, I think, exonerated him. I think we all know that those open fire pits don't get hot enough to burn a whole body.
No.
So,
But one thing he didn't mention, and that was the fact that Brendan was over to help him. He never mentions Brendan.
exactly right. So,
I never asked him either.
No.
And O'Neill just talked to Brendan right before this
Wow.
interview with Steven.
Yep.
He starts it off. Now, I'm hearing some things that you told me yesterday, and yeah. He's feeding off everything Brendan just told him. But
Yes, he
Steven
is.
is quick with the answers. He's telling the truth.
Yes, and don't forget, Skorlinski is the one that spoke with Blaine the day before,
Mm-hmm.
and Skorlinski is the one that got the information about the bus driver.
Correct.
So their minds are already whirring. Stephen, you're lying to us, right? In their mind, they're saying you're a liar because your nephew said the complete opposite.
Right.
Well, thank you guys for joining me, and we'll see you in the next interview.
Thank you.
thanks
Thank
so
you,
much.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And we're done.